So the Caicedo deal is in jeopardy because Chelsea aren't willing to pay £100 million, but they are on certain installments. How does that make sense? I'll break it down for you. Romelu Lukaku has a £70 million for over 3 years offer on the table. Apparently he doesn't want it. And finally, Thiago Silva. Did he tell us that we're getting Paulo Dybala? Don't get excited. He might have said that, but guess what? It's not true, and I'm gonna burst your bubble. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Okay, I've got things getting done in my house, so new location for the video, but guess what? Same old content. Good, entertaining Chelsea news. You know the place to be, the Kavkas View for your Chelsea dose. I am your YouTube dietitian. You know the drill, you know what we're covering in today's video. I gave you a sneak preview beforehand, but I need a massive favor from all of you. Hit the like button, we're aiming for 1,000 likes. And number 2, subscribe to the channel. And number 3, this is a big one actually, I haven't done this in a while. In the comments below, tell me whereabouts in the world you're watching this. So if you're from London, say London, England. I want to know what city and what country. Let's get these comments going, and I kind of want to know where the community's from. So let's go, let's move on with this. The Caicedo deal is taking a lot longer than I originally anticipated. Every Sunday we get big week, big week, big week. Bruv, when's this deal happening? Why is this deal taking so long to conclude? Well, Chelsea are willing to pay the £80 million, but are not willing to pay the £100 million that Brighton are asking for. Brighton have put the terms on the table. They said it simply. You want the player, £80 million on these terms and conditions, £100 million on these terms and conditions. The £100 million will mean that payments are spread out, and it's good for Chelsea in the long term because they don't have to use a lot more of their transfer budget. But the issue now arises is that Brighton are unwilling to budge. And the reason they're unwilling to budge is because the Declan Rice saga, the Enzo Fernandez saga. A precedent has been set. The money will be exchanged. And it's got to the point now where Brighton are like, look, either you pay us the money or we're just going to keep the player because we don't really want to sell. Like, yes, we've got a verbal agreement with him, but we can go to him and tell him straight. They're not willing to pay the money for you, big man. And if they're not, you're staying and you're playing Europa League football with us. It's not the end of the world. And what really irritates me at this moment in time is I don't understand why Chelsea are being tight with this money. Chelsea should not be tight with the money that goes for Moses Caicedo. The reason is because it's the cost of doing business for such an elite level talent. This guy could be world class. This guy is actively going to come in and take our double pivot to the next level. Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Christopher Nkunku. I love that midfield duo. I love the attacking midfielder, I like the creator, and I like the destroyer / carrier of the ball. Why do we have to now penny pinch? Just get the deal done. They want 100 million, give them the payment structure they want. I don't care if we get ripped off in this deal because I don't believe you get ripped off when you get Moses Caicedo, age 21, in your team. Sky Sports are giving me some sort of hope. They're reporting that Chelsea expect fully that Moses Caicedo, come the US tour, is going to be their player. So we need to be realistic about this. We need to be calm about this. But at the same time, I'm starting to panic. I can't lie to you lot. Let me know in the comments below, are you willing to pay £100 million? And if not, who are you going after? Because the reality is, who's the next best alternative? Tchouaméni for £80 million? Let me know. So yesterday, every single player apparently was at Silverstone. Where was my invite? How come I didn't get a nice little invite and a cheeky interview with Thiago Silva? I don't know. But the reality is, Thiago Silva was at Silverstone, Reece James was at Silverstone, and many other Chelsea players were at Silverstone. But who else was at Silverstone? Paulo Dybala. I don't know what Paulo Dybala was doing in England at Silverstone, but apparently he really enjoys it and he was there. And guess what? Thiago Silva and him had a nice little cheeky conversation, and Thiago Silva has an interview with Sky Sports. And during this interview, no one asked Thiago Silva to do this. But Thiago Silva just casually just brings up Paulo Dybala. He's like, yeah, Paulo Dybala is a great player. I asked him, is it true that he's joining Chelsea? All I know is Thiago Silva watches the Kavkas View evidently because he's up to date with his latest Chelsea news. If he wasn't up to date with his latest Chelsea news, he wouldn't know that. He definitely knows that. He's always watching the Kavkas View, and that's why you lot should subscribe to the channel, because evidently he watches it as well. This is what I found really interesting. He said he's always welcome at the club. I won't tell you what he said to me, but he's a great player. He also confirmed the Pulisic deal and the Ruben Loftus-Cheek deal that we already knew that happened by saying that Pulisic is a very nice guy. He's going to be very good for Milan, the same way Ruben Loftus-Cheek is. Dybala later that day confirmed that he's very happy at Roma and that at this moment in time, he's not moving anywhere. Basically, deal done, right? Deal done in the sense that he's staying at Roma and he's not going to come. He's got a £12 million release clause. And why does he have this £12 million release? Last summer, he joined Roma. And when he joined Roma, he got a king's welcoming. It was absolutely unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. Dybala, welcome to Rome. Like, how many people showed up for Paulo Dybala is ridiculous. But he joined on a 2-year deal. And that 2-year contract was why? Because he took a pay cut of 115,000 a week. He decided he was gonna go, that's net by the way, not after tax. The reason he decided to take that contract is because of his injury problem. He believed if he could prove that he could stay fit for 1 year, he'd get a massive deal, like a 4 or 5 year deal, and he'd be in a better position. He didn't go as planned in the sense that he only played 25 league games, but at the same time, I think he got 12 goals and 6 assists, and he had a very productive season under Jose Mourinho. He loved how the team was built around him, and he was really developing himself nicely to becoming the main man. Is he welcome at Chelsea? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a massive risk. I don't think this deal is going to happen because of his injury problems. This guy is so talented. He gets so many good goals, so many beautiful goals, good link up, absolute technician. Problem is I can't count on him to be fair. And if you can't count on him to be fair, there's no point paying him the wages we're going to be expected to pay him. And number two, count on him when he's just not going to be there. So the reality is it's a hard pass from me. I'm sorry. The final news is on 2 strikers. Number one, Datro Fofana looks set to be playing in the Champions League next year, whilst Chelsea are not going to be playing in the Champions League. Yes, he's getting a loan to Union Berlin, the German team that has qualified for the Champions League. He's going to be going to the Bundesliga and absolutely destroying the high lines that they play over there. And he's going to be playing in a team that is really well organized and, more importantly, likes to hit teams on the break, the way that Chelsea are going to be expected to play under Pochettino due to the tactic. Very good loan for him. It's up to the player now to decide. All the agreements are in place between Union Berlin, Chelsea and his agent. So the player will decide whether he goes there or not. The big news. Romelu Lukaku has an offer sitting at the table, whilst Chelsea have walked away from talks with Inter Milan because Inter Milan put £23 million bid in. Chelsea wants somewhere close to 40. Al Hilal are offering that. They're offering £40 million and they're offering Romelu Lukaku a beautiful £70 million across 3 years. His first year being 27.9 million. This is a deal that at this moment in time looks very unlikely, purely based on the fact that Romelu Lukaku at this moment in time does not want to go to Saudi Arabia. Romelu Lukaku believes he's still good enough to play in Europe. Romelu Lukaku only wants Inter Milan. Juventus are sniffing around the situation, so that could make everything change. And Al Hilal are just buying their time. As time goes on, they're like, listen, Rom, if you want, the money's here. Rom, if you want, 70 millions are yours. Come through. And it's interesting to see how this transpires. All these news outlets are coming out with the same story. What do we know? We know that he's meant to report for training either tomorrow being Tuesday or Wednesday before we go to the the US tour. At this moment in time, he is expected to be training. Carlo Corricini running those training sessions. And that's for the players that are going to be leaving. So Callum Hudson-Odoi is currently training there. Romelu Lukaku is expected to be training there. Ethan Ampadu is going to be training there. And it's the players that are going to be moving on and are part of the first team plan. Guys, this was the Kavkas View. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are informed. I've got 2 videos that you guys most probably have or haven't seen about Chelsea's future plans in 2030 plan, and also another video on the players that we've left and let go out of Cobham. So go check that out. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like recording in this room. I prefer my sofa, it's a lot more comfortable. I like the background there a lot more. Let me know your thoughts. You like the new layout for the time being because I got work being done at my house. Otherwise, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts.